Welcome back, barbecue fans. Vin Picaro here. Charlie Baldwin to my immediate left, the left side. And, of course, in the house this week again, Bob Bowman from Big Bobby's Q. We're going to be talking with some great people. We got Brian and Brandon Dwyers from the BBQ Bus joining us on the tube over here in a minute. So I'm not going to keep you any longer. These guys are awesome. They had a lot of competition information, and they're just a joy to listen to. So check this out.
Let's get at it.
Yeah, hey, folks, here they are. Brian and Brandon Dwyer from the BBQ Bus are here this week. Thanks to Bob Bowman from Big Bobby's Q hooked up this meeting. So we are here to talk with these great guys and hear what's going on. They've had a lot of success. I heard already from a little pre-show conversation that this year has been a little challenging for this father and son team. But hey, welcome, guys. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for coming on, guys.
Thanks for having us.
So what's going on? What's new? What's challenging this year?
I appreciate it, guys.
What's challenging this year?
I don't know. I mean, I think we cooked 3 cooks this year, so we're off to a little bit of a slow start.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't. I mean, Brendan just got married, had a baby, bought a house, so it's kind of slowed down. I mean, we were doing like 30 a year at one point.
Wow.
And then, I got old and beat up, so we had to slow down a little bit too. So
let's start off from like the beginning.
You're the bionic man. So
there you go. Yeah, I have some of those same problems. Couple new hips, pacemaker. I got them all.
Yeah, new hip, new knee.
Nice.
What's in
nice?
this?
So let's start from the beginning. How did you decide to get into competition barbecue?
Well, I actually started, unless Brendan wants to take it, but I actually started. So I'm from Chicago. We're both from Chicago. Brendan lives in Wisconsin now. He's been there for 5 years, I think. I've always loved to
5
cook,
years.
and I've always been competitive. So as I got older, the only thing old fat white guys can do is cook barbecue. Apparently, because I couldn't. I played sports when I was younger, and I've always had that competitive thing, and I just love to cook, and it kind of just happened. We had a friend who was a chef here in the area. Well, Deuce from Sweet Baby Ray's.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
He's a really good friend of ours, and he was in competition barbecue when we started. And we had another friend. His name was Dylan, and he was a chef in the city. And we kind of hooked up with him first, and we did one competition. We really kind of loved it, and we just so happened to be sitting at this competition, and we're like, man, wouldn't it be cool to have a bus, like a school bus to drive around in? And he pulls it up on Craigslist and found a bus, and then literally the next week I went and bought it.
Nice.
And brought it home. And we drove that around for probably up until 2-3 years ago, until I had to have knees and hips replaced. So I couldn't, had no air conditioning, no heat, but anybody who was lucky enough to be around when the bus was around, it was pretty special.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool.
That is cool. That is great.
So you've retired the bus?
Yeah, it's retired and sold. It's sold.
So,
It sold,
so
a couple
Brandon's
weeks
not
ago,
driving
actually.
it right now.
No.
So that must have been a kind of a tough thing to do to sell that bus. You are Bus Barbecue. That must have been a tough move for you guys.
Yeah, it was. I mean, we cook on Outlaw Barbecue Smokers. Jay Craig is. We started cooking on Outlaws, our hybrid in 2017. I think we were. I always tease them. It's number 1 off the assembly line because there's no markings in it. But it was probably one of the top 5 coming off his line over in Indiana, and we cooked with that. We pulled that with the bus or with the truck alongside of it, and it's been parked. It's been sold a few times, but Jay loved it so much. He was like, dude, I can't sell it. I just, because we started with it. So finally I was just like, Jay, I'm never going to drive it again. Like I just can't do it.
Right.
So he messaged me a couple weeks ago. It was like, hey, someone said that they'll buy it. I was like, just sell it. Just sell it. Just be done. Let's go. Like it's been sitting there. Let someone else enjoy it. So we let it go.
So did you guys trick it all out on the inside? Obviously, rip the seats out. And what's it look like on the inside? What's the setup?
So
we
me,
had a full go ahead, Brendan.
when we originally bought it, it wasn't fully tricked out the way that it was. I think that we bought it from an old hippie that kind of set up the first half of just kind of like a place to sleep, place to hang out. We actually retrofitted the whole back with countertops and made a full kitchen in the back. We threw a fridge in there. We threw all the stuff that you need in your standard competition barbecue trailer. And it turned into it was great. We had a place to hang out up in front, and then we had a place to like get to business and cook in the back. So it was really awesome.
In the back, did it have like a barbecue porch? Were you able to put your smokers right on the back of it? Was it open? No. Okay. So did you have to drop?
No. We had the trailer. We had the pole. We parked it outside of the bus. If you happen to look at if our on our bus page, you could see some of the setups that we've had in the inside of the bus. It was like, I always say it was like a Grateful Dead bus because it had tapestries all over the ceiling, and then we had cowhide seats. So yeah, it was fun, but going up and down those stairs and cooking outside it started to get
challenging,
especially if it rained. Like, it was a challenge.
So what do you have now? Do you have a trailer, porch trailer?
Yeah, we bought, I don't know if you guys know 1-2 Barbecue. He's really big in Illinois, one of our mentors. We bought he was getting out of the competition scene, and I was like, man, I don't want that thing to go to anybody else, because his class was probably the best class. It's like when the light bulb went off after we took Steve's class, and we haven't really looked back from there. Most of our success is attributed to his class, and Scotty Johnson, who's Cancer Sucks Chicago, big guy down here. He stopped cooking a long time ago, but I felt like, it had some mojo, and Steve was very good at pork, and we kind of sucked at pork. So I was kind of hoping some of that would rub off.
Right. Yeah.
Brutally honest.
There you go.
Yeah.
It did, and now we can't cook chicken. So,
yeah. Right.
So, your best meat. So chicken, not so good. Your best meat would be brisket. That's what I hear.
Yeah.
Yeah. We hear you guys killing
Word is out.
Brisket.
But brisket and ribs probably. We were second and third in the country with brisket.
Second and third in the country.
That too, though.
I'm sorry, second and third in the country.
That's great.
Yeah, we were second one year. We lost to Rooters and Tutors by like the last contest of the year. We actually were in first place for like one day, Brendan. I can't remember what year that was. We would have won toy, but yeah, it's brisket and ribs are probably our strongest. Then chicken and then pork.
Yep.
So I think we've kind of picked up pork just from a lot of help from a lot of people. Billy out there has helped me a lot. John from Chunky's has helped us a lot.
John's
LC
awesome.
Barbecue's helped us. It's amazing. Like the barbecue community is just, if you need help, like they're just willing to help you. It's just.
I mean, we say that all the
it's
time.
amazing.
Yeah, I don't think you find a different, like another, like I don't even know what to call it, another area where everybody is so willing to share techniques and recipes and help other teams and other people than barbecue. It's really a special community.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah, we also learned talking to some of the New England representatives and teams that with brisket, it's the meat that you can make the biggest leap in your point standings at an event. Because if you're doing it well, you're outpacing the other competitors by like 6, 7, 8 points. You know what I mean? So if brisket's your strength, is brisket your muscle? That's great.
and we've always been told, Scotty's always tells big meats win contests. So
Right.
if you can nail pork and brisket, typically, we don't sweat it too much if we get if we don't get a chicken call, because we know ribs and brisket are, it carried us a lot
Mhm.
the year before last. So you could always count on us. Like, I think we got 15 180s in brisket or something like that.
Wow.
It's something ridiculous, but and that has to do. Brendan does all the cooking. Like, all I do, I love trimming meat. It's like a therapy for me. But Brendan, from start to finish, when we're on site, is he's the head cook. He's head of the team. I'm just kind of the prep guy per se.
All right, Brendan, tell us your secrets.
Teed up for him.
So he vastly overstated that. This is a team effort. My dad and I do this together. This isn't a one thing. It's not. And honestly, I have a ton of respect for people like Paul Buab and Steve Hayden back in the day that cooked by themselves and did this alone and enjoy and continue to enjoy doing it alone. It's a lot of work. Whether it's on site doing the work, the actual cook and the cleanup and the prep and all of that stuff at the comp, my dad does a ton of work before we even set foot on that competition grounds. So we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for both of us. We do a lot when it comes to this, and it's just. Like I said, I have a ton of respect for the people that do this alone, because it's a lot of work, man.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
For sure.
Yeah, I have a hard time picturing like somebody doing that by themselves.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we miss Caitlin too. Caitlin, Caitlin's up until the last, and that's Brendan's wife, has been there for us and supported us and have run boxes and made boxes up until she had the baby. So it's been a couple of years, and it's honestly, it's a struggle with her not there, because, I feel like she's our good luck charm too with Whiskey, their dog. Like, we always seem to do better when Whiskey and her are there for some reason. But
that's great. That makes a lot.
I think she kind of keeps us grounded too.
She just laughed.
If you have your spouse involved, that's huge, because it's like a get out of jail card, right? It's like I talk to people who play golf, and I'm like, doesn't your wife get mad you play so much golf? He goes, no, I just taught her how to play.
Yeah.
So if you teach, if your wife's cooking right next to you, they get it. They understand how.
Well,
thrilling it
I
is.
think they notice when things are about to go out of whack.
Yeah.
And I'm
no, that's
they see it coming, and they know what to say at that right moment and say, okay, calm down.
Why is that? I've heard
calm down.
They know you better than anybody.
Everything will be just fine.
No, the spouse atmosphere, the females are more in tune to everything. They'll tell you when the meat's going to win. They know.
Yeah.
Like where when you guys are processing it, I'm sure you're always second guessing yourself. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? But the women just know, and they know it's binary, right? It's like, nope, it's terrible. We're not going to get close, or that's number one. Absolutely. It's automatic. It's crazy. That's great.
We got a funny story.
It's hard for
the first 180 we ever got in brisket was at Shelbyville, Indiana. And Caitlin was there, and we had the bus. And I remember giving her a slice of brisket, and she looked at both me and Dad, and she goes, "You just won."
Oh, that's it.
That's the best brisket. That's the best brisket I've ever had in my life.
That's what I'm talking about.
We turned that box in super confident, and we liked it, and ended up. It came down to that first place, and both me and my dad are like, "Come on, man! We thought it was great. We got the first 180, and both me and him just lost it.
Yeah,
just lost it. So ever since then, Caitlin is the gold standard for when it's good.
Yeah,
it's funny how that works.
Yeah, she
That's
tastes
how it
all our
works.
food. Like when she's there, she tastes all our food. Like, and she says yes or no. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
I'm very biased, because everything Brendan will tell you, like everything I taste, it's the best I've ever made.
Best I've ever cooked.
Chicken I ever made.
Yeah.
No, but the spouses are binary.
But,
they know, it's this. It's Caesar. They're like they think it's one or the other. That's it.
Yeah.
It's not. Let's wait and
Yeah.
see. It's not. No, they know. They know.
I always pick my food apart.
And it's hard for me because my wife absolutely despises barbecue. She absolutely hates
She doesn't
it.
have a taste
She
for it.
doesn't go.
Yeah,
She
that's my
she
wife.
hates when I
Hates
go.
it.
Like
Hates it.
so.
That's my wife. My wife's a great butcher, and she'll help me cook all day long, but she won't eat it. She doesn't enjoy it. And, God forbid if it had a sauce on it or something. She's a dry rub kind of person. Everything's got to be authentic
Okay.
meats, salt and pepper on that. She's from Texas, and everything's salt and pepper only, and that's it. But, yeah, she doesn't like barbecue. She doesn't get it. I invite her on the safaris. Come on down, do this, do that. No, I'm not going. You guys have fun. I'm okay.
Yeah.
I love Sue.
What
great.
year did you guys develop Peep Show?
So after we won the chicken at the Royal, I think that was 22. Brendan, was it 22
Yeah.
or 23? 20.
Yep. I think it was
Um,
20. It was one of those years, 22 or 23.
and Game Changer. Everybody uses Game Changer.
Well, that's
right?
what I was going to say. So as far as I know, I would have to say 60, 75% of teams were using Oak Ridge Game Changer for chicken.
Yep.
absolutely.
And then,
Yep. And I
You-
reached
you
out
pop-
to that
you pop-
guy, but
you popped up-
he never.
yeah, and then you popped up on the scene, and then Oak Ridge closed.
Yep.
And
Well, we knew he was closing. I mean, we kind of knew it. And I was like,
okay.
you know what? It's such a huge part of all of our recipes. Like, I mean, I dump a little bit in, it's just got a great flavor. And I was just like, you know what?
Everyone's point, we tried to get as close to Game Changer as we possibly could while still maintaining the integrity of us building it,
Right.
And honestly, we've been very open from the very beginning that we were trying to get as close to it as possible because of how good it did in the barbecue scene,
Sure.
and how important it was to our process.
Sure,
So,
you don't want to use the phrase like duplicate, but to your point, you want to be as close to the best as you can while still keeping it your own and having your own little twist or vibe on it. You know what I mean?
So,
Brendan, I got a question
Yeah.
for you, Brendan. Like you,
yes,
obviously
sir.
your dad's, obviously been doing this. How did you? What age did you get into this with him and start taking a real interest in barbecue and cooking and stuff like that?
So, dude, we kind of started this together. So back in the day, and I'll give all the props to my dad. Back in the day, everybody came to my dad's house for parties, for graduations, for whatever, because my dad loves cooking. Okay, so he went down and bought a Lang originally. I think you drove down to Georgia to pick it up, Dad, and brought it back up, and we cooked ribs for a graduation or a party or something. And there was a guy that came up to us and was like, man, these are the best ribs I've ever had. Have you guys ever thought about competing? And both my dad and I looked at each other like, we didn't even know we could do that. Like that is so,
Compete?
so that was kind of what kind of sparked the conversation. And I think my dad did one backyard without me. And then the very next one, he's like, I'm done. I'm not doing backyard anymore. We're going to go pro. We're going to cook everything. We're going to do it. And then we grabbed some cans and rocked it and turned it in. It was Lamb's Farm, I think it was, Dad.
Yeah.
And we got beat up. It was so cold that weekend, and I ended up sleeping in the car in like negative 20 degrees with like a tiny little blanket. So I got like 45 minutes of sleep after I turned the heat on in the car. But we got beat up, but we did get a call that weekend. And I think it right then was when it sparked the competitive side in us to say, we can do this. And it was a ton of fun to do it. So after that, I mean, we're 150. I think we were just looking at it this weekend. I think we're 150 or so competitions in it. I think he's done maybe, probably less than 10 without me. It's just something that me and him love doing.
Yeah.
And it's a cool way to spend, with your dad. And you know what? I'm in sales. So going out and telling people that I cook barbecue for a hobby and I get to do it with my dad is just the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
We've turned in significantly worse food and won competitions. Like both me and him closed the lids on those boxes and absolutely loved everything. That brisket that we turned in was unbelievable. And for us to get not only not get a top 10, but not get a single call that's hard, especially when you love everything. You loved everything you turned in.
Right.
And you know what? At the end of the day, that's barbecue.
Yep.
Just is.
Yep.
Some days you just get beat up like that.
You're
So
cooking for 6 total strangers that may know barbecue, may not.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah, and you don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's not the same
and here's
guys.
the thing, and here's what chaps my ass. Like, KCBS is known that there's issues, right? And you got Rod Gray up there of head of KCBS, and he's more worried about Brad Leiniger coming to a banquet opposed to fixing this chip draw seating stuff. Like, it absolutely infuriates me when you go to a comp and they're not all CBJs. They don't tell the cooks that. Like, I personally would like to know that if I'm going to piss my money away, if I'm getting judges that are certified, and not to say that you're going to get any better results, but it's better than someone that they pull off the street because they're looking for judges or they're short on judges, right?
Right.
So, and especially in this time frame where things are triple the cost.
Yeah.
Like, it's
right.
It's it's frustrating. It really is. Especially when and when you have a good cook. Like, I know when I have good food, like, it may not hit, you know what I mean? But as cooks and as professional cooks, competition cooks, if your food's good, you know what I mean? Like, you're not going to fool yourself if you may. I try to project it that it's good, and he'll come around and be like, yeah, it's not that good.
Does that chap your ass?
I can be objective in a subjective space, which is the hope of every judge that we are sending food into. So,
but it's the consistency, right? I mean, that's how you can tell whether your cook is good or not when you taste it. You're like, yeah, that's what we've been hitting out of the park all the time, and whether you've been consistent or not, I assume.
Yeah. And honestly, like, my dad gets hot about this stuff. And after a week of thinking about it, like, it really is. That's just, sometimes you just get beat up. It's just, I think this year has been a little frustrating for us because we've turned in some good food and just haven't, at least what we thought was good food, and haven't gotten the scores that we thought we would. I mean, honestly, like, the first 3 comps, I think we've cooked above a 695 all year. So this was the first one that we really got beat up on. And it just, man, it's hard that's a hard pill to swallow when you love it.
Yeah.
And I'll give you an example. We cooked ribs the night before, and they were not good. And both me and him knew they were not good. And he still's trying to, they were all right. No, Dad, they were bad. They were bad ribs that we turned in that we didn't love. And it showed, but at least we know that, it's hard when you turn in something that not only us, but we try and cook as much as we possibly can next to a group of guys under the name of Tire Smoke. Jeff and Luke are awesome cooks, great dudes. Their top 10 percentage is stupid. They've been around the block once or twice, and they came in and tried our brisket, and they're like, holy shit. Like, they knew it, and everyone, and they're not the type of people to blow smoke. It's just one of those things that it gets frustrating when there's no consistency with that.
Right.
It seems like you're throwing darts at a ball so often.
There's one thing I'll learn to do now is I will refuse to taste other people's food after last weekend. I will not taste anybody's food. Like, when you spit it out and you bite it and you're like, and I'm not going to call any teams out, but if you eat something and it's shitty, like, it's like, it's just not good.
Yeah,
like, it's not good.
They missed.
Yeah. Or they come and say, hey, you know what? My chicken was horrible. Like, it was rubbery, and then they get a top 5 call, or they're cooking a 700. You know what I mean?
But that's barbecue.
The backyard guy next to me. Yeah, and the guy next to me, Porcosaurus, he gave me his chicken. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. I was like, dude, this chicken's great. And he got first place chicken. I was like, so, I mean, I can be objective, and unfortunately, I have a big mouth, and I say what I mean. I'm 60 years old. I don't really give shit. Like, I'm going to tell you how I feel. A lot of people don't like that, but it is what it is. Like, if it's garbage, it's garbage. Like, if you cook a 700 and you know you didn't deserve it, like, I'm not going to go on social media and promote. Like, I have some pride. Like, yeah, I'm happy for whoever wins, like the other friends, but at the same token, it's like, yeah, I didn't really deserve that. Like,
Right.
and I would be the same way. Like, there's cooks that we've won, and I'm like, there's no way we deserve to win. Like, it was, you know, there were certain aspects of it where it wasn't good. We didn't deserve it. We didn't earn it, but it's barbecue.
Two-sided
like
coin
Brendan
there,
said.
for sure.
Yeah.
So let's go to a happier note.
All right.
I love that.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've been waiting.
I don't know. I'm a Midwest guy. All right. So
You are.
yes, I am.
Where are you from?
Chicago.
You're from Chicago too?
I
Nice.
believe,
We're in Chicago.
Brian, where are you from?
I live in Elmhurst, which is 20 minutes outside of Chicago, northwest suburbs.
So, yep. So I grew up in North Lake.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh shit, you're right down the street from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Currently, family live in Lisle.
Okay.
My son just graduated from Lake Forest College.
That's right. That's right.
And now lives with my mom, and they're all out there. So, anyways, on the
That's awesome.
and in Wisconsin, we have connections in Wisconsin. Brendan, where are you out of?
So I'm in Oak Creek, about 20 minutes south of Milwaukee. But when we grew up on the south side of Chicago. So go Bears and go Sox.
Yep. So our connection in Wisconsin are friends in Cedarburg.
Okay.
All right. So Midwest guy, I've always wanted to go out back home, see family, and do a couple comps. Which one? Convince me.
I already know which one he's going to say. I already
Convince
know.
me.
Go ahead, Brendan.
To convince me to pack the trailer today and head on out this year to your best comp, the best atmosphere, the best teams are out there. What is it?
So if you would have asked me this question a couple of years ago, it would have been a different answer. But this is as close as I can get to giving you that atmosphere. Washington Island was the absolute best. My dad and I argued about going to it because it was too far, which looking back now is only really 3.5 hours, which is a standard competition for us now.
Right.
That was the best competition. Atmosphere was great. The people were great. The weather was great. The location was wonderful. It's hands down. That is one that we will miss forever. We never got to grand it. We did reserve it. And that's going to hold a special place in our heart forever. The closest thing that I would say that you can get to is Egg Harbor is now that competition.
Okay.
So instead of going across the water to the actual island before that.
Yep.
This year it's supposed to be a double, with I think it's a double rib burn on Friday night, so it'll be Friday.
Yeah.
And it is in a gorgeous part of Wisconsin during a gorgeous part of the year.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to tell you to go to a competition to hitch up, go to it. It's beautiful, dude.
So
it really is. The campgrounds, the organizers, all about it. Like, absolutely.
Is that a public invited event? Is the public at that?
I think public can come.
Yeah.
It's an amazing campground, and the surrounding area is just absolutely beautiful. Part of Wisconsin. I will ever miss that content. I will never miss it if it's still go. I would never miss Washington Island if it didn't go away.
What time of the year is that?
But
when does that go off?
August.
September.
Okay.
No, September.
I thought it was August. Dad. Is it September?
No. It's either before or after Murfreesboro this year.
John.
Oh yeah, it's right before Murfreesboro. That's right. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, right.
And what was the name of that? Washington what?
It's in Eggs Harbor.
It's called
Egg Harbor.
Egg
yeah,
Harbor.
Egg Harbor Rustic Timbers.
Yeah.
Rustic Timbers
Barbecue bash or something like that. Yeah.
So
Amazing.
I knew about the one on is it Washington Island? I've researched and that one. I was like, oh, we gotta go. I gotta go. Canceled.
Uh-huh.
You
you don't want to
canceled?
miss.
Huh? They canceled.
Oh, they canceled. Okay.
Yeah, they canceled the competition. On the competition end, what are your thoughts and are you chasing qualifiers for the World Cup?
We're not this year we're not. Like we were gonna go to North Dakota and do it. I'm not 100% sold on that yet. I mean, if we make it, we make it. If we don't, we don't. It's really harder for Brendan. Like I won't do this by myself. I got to cook a couple weeks by myself, and because he's got a wedding for his best friend. So like if I've come to the point now where if he's not there, I just don't want to cook. Like, it's just too much on me.
Yeah.
So we're not really chasing anything anymore.
Yep.
Doesn't mean I don't want to win.
You know what, though?
Like,
we got Murfreesboro on that list, so we got one more shot at this thing.
Okay. All right.
Nice.
Like
ahead,
MBN is all pork, ribs, whole hog, or baby back ribs, right? What's kind of cool about Murfreesboro is typically MBN you only cook one. Like if you go to the south and Mississippi or Alabama or whatever and cook an MBN comp, you can only cook hog, shoulder, or ribs. You can't do all three. If I'm saying that correctly, because we only cook MBN one time a year, but Murfreesboro you can cook ribs, hog, and shoulder. And we normally do shoulder and ribs, and then we do full KCBS. So that's why we're stupid. Like we're absolutely insane to do it because we're already dead ass tired, and then we got to cook pork shoulder.
Right.
And we've actually finaled every year except for one.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's the big difference. Is the finals is with KCBS it's all blind box. Right. With MBN you have to actually do a presentation about what you cooked, how you cooked it, what you cooked it on, why you cooked it that way, the seasoning that you use, the sauces, and how it adds to the flavor profile. There's a lot of intricacies that you have to pull out.
So that's like Memphis.
It
that's
makes
like
it
Memphis
much more
in May.
difficult.
Memphis is May.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, sir.
All right. Okay.
Yep.
I'm ignorant. Yep. Who are you doing the presentation for? The judges or the
judges?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I mean,
so judges will come by, basically have to present food to them,
right,
and do the whole thing, song and dance.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you think that gives them a better feel for the cooking? Like you're saying sometimes there's a problem with guys maybe guys aren't experienced judges and they throw things off, scores off. But do you think something like that helps them at all? Be more realistic in their scoring and their judging of your food.
Well, and to be honest, I'm a conspiracy theorist.
Okay.
So we've made finals there like 3 times or 4 times, and we've gotten 3rd place every single time. I don't ever think they're going to give a Chicago team or a Wisconsin team over a Memphis or Mississippi, Alabama team that cooks MBN every weekend because they see those judges all the time, right?
Okay.
And granted, that's just something to appease my mind to be like, yeah, well, I cooked it because we went into a blind box one time. We were like 6 points ahead of everybody. And as soon as we got that on, we don't know how to do on. Like, I don't know. I just talk out of my ass, like pretty much.
Yeah. There you go.
Judges,
he got full circle there. It's not the judges.
Yeah.
We only do it once a year. So we're not very good at on-site presentation when it comes to that stuff. Versus, and here's the thing, like we will have a trailer, and a pop-up tent and a table right next to whether it's Heath Riles or, Band of Outlaws, some of those guys that have a gigantic setup ready to pull out this beautiful presentation for everybody. They're already, we're lucky we're happy we got finals, and that's where we kind of go into it that way. Yeah, it is. But yes, 2 years ago we went into finals we got a perfect score on our blind box.
Nice.
And we still ended up third just because the presentation just wasn't there, and that's something that what's nice is we get to work on that. Right. And that's where we get to work on it because we only do it once a year.
Right.
So
yeah.
What do as I was learning about you guys and what you do, I inevitably, because you're from there, I started getting a lot of information on Chicago. There seems to be like a decent amount of barbecue in Chicago that they don't get a lot of credit for in terms of restaurants and things like that. Do you have any insight on any of those places? We do a barbecue, a destination Q show where we go around the country and go to restaurants. We've been to Texas and the Carolinas and
man, I would go see Deuce at Sweet Baby Ray's. Like he's amazing. Like his barbecue is amazing. His store is amazing. Yeah. If you're looking, that's really close. That's in Wooddale, Illinois.
Yep.
But I'm really like old school. Like I grew up on the south side of Chicago, so like going to all the neighborhoods that have rib tips and chicken and hot links, and like if I'm ever down in Harvey, Illinois or Markham, Illinois, I'm going to ex-senators. I'm going places where you gotta carry something to go into, and it's usually where all the best food
Welcome
is.
to Chicago.
Carry something.
Yeah. Something. Yeah, I mean, what's his name? That's won Memphis a few times. Lily Q's is in Chicago.
Yep.
He's won Pork Shoulder a few times. Smoked is really good. That's been rated really high. There's a ton in the city that are really, really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, Deuce is well-rounded in all barbecue, like whether it's Texas, Carolina, like in his restaurant, his food is amazing. Mm-hmm. So, fantastic. Which is only 10 minutes from my house. So if I want barbecue, that's where
there you go.
Yeah. Yep.
There you go.
Well, guys, I want to thank you very much for a great conversation and being here. It was nice for you guys to jump right on with us, and I thank Bob for setting this up on our end.
Absolutely.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much.
We wish you the best of luck. The rest of the season. All right, guys, you have a great rest of your evening, and we'll maybe we get a chance to circle back with you later in the year.
Oh, that'd be great. Check in at the end of the year.
Yeah, good luck on your next comp too.
All right, thank you.
Take care.
Yep.
I appreciate it, guys. Have a great night.
All right, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. That was great. We had a blast. We look forward to getting some of those care packages Brian offered. And I don't know, Bob, I think we're going to have to go out down to Wisconsin and check out some of this stuff.
I think so.
I've been trying to figure out that competition schedule.
Yeah.
To go out there, maybe hit a comp on the way, do a comp, and then come back. Just get the weekend before, the weekend after, buzz home.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Well, thanks again, guys, for doing that for us. And hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Go out and eat some barbecue. And, don't forget, it's Friday night. Bob's cooking over at Blackbird
I was just going to say that.
Oh, you got to go for it. Give it to him.
No, I was just going to say I had the pleasure of stopping by Blackbird Farms in Smithfield, Rhode Island on Route 7. I don't know what that crossroad is there.
Lime Rock Road.
Lime Rock Road, corner of Route 7 and Lime Rock Road next to the big church. And this guy's food was off the chain. What the hell was that? Pulled ham.
Yeah.
My God, that was the best. That was one of the best sandwiches. Like top 5 of sandwiches of all time, and I don't say that lightly.
Go try it out. We get 15% of all the profit.
Yeah, absolutely. Good stuff. Get there early though, because this guy's selling out.
Yeah,
Man.
don't sleep.
This weekend we're open Sunday.
Oh,
Sunday, great.
You guys get that.
What's the hours on that?
On Sunday, 11 to 3.
All right.
Nice.
Probably rain or shine.
Rain or shine.
Oh boy, I'm getting fat again. Better.
Give him your adios.
Oh, adios.